So there's this one thing Black Americans don't realize they even control, and that's what we really want to talk about. Let's get into it. The one thing you don't even know that you control in America, it's not politics, it's not entertainment, it's not sports, it's not votes. It's something deeper, stronger, more dangerous, and more valuable than any system wants you to know. Let's talk about it. Let's just get into it. I'm going to go into them, right? Black America controls the cultural temperature of America. Now, whether America admits it or not, the emotional tone of this country follows Black America. When Black Americans laugh, America relaxes. When Black America cries, America panics. When Black American protects, America shifts. When Black Americans celebrate, America moves. You control the pulse, the mood, the rhythm of the nation. Americans also control what becomes popular in America. Now let's get into it. What becomes cool, fashionable, marketable, desirable, global, all starts with Black Americans. Music, you set it. Slangs, you invent it. Fashion, you pioneered it. Trends, you dictate them. Sports, you dominate them. Entertainment, you run it. Movement, you ignite it. Companies spend billions trying to copy what you naturally create. Now, Black America also controls attention. Every group wants attention. Only one group commands it effortlessly. Black Americans. If Black Americans focuses on something, the entire nation looks. If Black America ignores something, it loses values immediately. Your attention is currency, and the nation follows whatever you invest in. Now, another thing again is Black Americans control America's image to the world. Listen carefully. The reason America is cool globally is Black Americans. Serious, I swear. It's Black Americans. People in Brazil, Korea, France, UK, Nigeria, Jamaica, they don't copy American culture. They copy Black American cultures. Black Americans shape the way America sounds. Are you hearing me? Black America shapes the way America dresses. Black Americans shape the way America dances. Black American shapes the way America expresses itself. Black Americans shape the way American protests. Without Black America, the US would look boring, stiff, and favorless to the world. You control how America is perceived internationally. Do you understand all the things I'm saying now? Now let's talk about Black Americans controls the future of Americans' identity. Let's get into it. Black Americans control the future of American identity. Every decade, the definition of fashion or the definition of being American changes. And guess who pushes the change? Black Americans. You control what America embraces. You control what America rejects. You control what America confronts. You control what America modernizes. You control what America evolves into. Your struggles rewrite politics. Your victories change laws. Your creativity shifts culture. Your voice forces accountability. America becomes uncomfortable when Black America becomes uncomfortable. See that? Now let's talk about another thing you Black Americans control. Black Americans control national conversation. Media moves based on Black reactions. Politicians respond based on Black pressure. Corporations adjust based on Black demand. Celebrities stay relevant based on Black support. Any topic you push becomes national news. Any topic you drop disappears. That's control. That's power. And you barely notices it. Right? Anyways, let's just watch these few videos. Few. And then I'll come with the closing. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss this. Right? Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe. Turn on your notification, bell, so that you can always see these things and watch them. Anyways, let's continue. I'll be back.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but until Black American people control their entire culture, entire media, entire sound, what you're listening to is brainwashing, white supremacy media. I know it's catchy. I know it's popular. I know you be feeling like is doing something to you, it's brainwashing you. If you listen clear enough, you'll hear that they're trying to make you, become a consumer, brainwash you into wanting lifestyles and things that you never need, brainwashing you to love distractions so you can focus on being a slave. I know it's popular, but it's white supremacy music.
Puerto Ricans are also the pioneers of hip-hop. It's not up for debate.
What's not up for a debate is a lot of Puerto Ricans don't understand English.
Are we doing this? I really hope we are. Let's continue.
No, he's absolutely correct. Now, have Puerto Ricans been a part of hip-hop? Yes, but as far as the roots that led up to what hip-hop was to be, it was Black Americans. Here, take a look. Mind you, that's in the 1940s, which exceeds anything that you're going to bring up about Puerto Ricans in hip-hop. Okay? So that's the element of being an MC, basically, way before that term was created, correct? Let's see about breakdancing. Once again, that is also in the 1940s. Now, the word itself of hip-hop may have not been created, but elements within it, such as breakdancing and MCing, were already being established by Black Americans. Puerto Ricans were not the ones that started it off. They are not pioneers. They've been involved in hip-hop, but they are not pioneers. And I don't give a fuck what Fat Joe or Busta Rhymes says. It's every day with somebody that keeps trying to take claim to Black American inventions and our culture. Leave us the fuck alone.
And I know that a lot of y'all just don't listen to enough Black artists and Black musicians because we have normalized boring singing in music. And this idea that like riffing is extra and doing too much is crazy because Black people in America have pioneered modern music and have shaped modern music for the entire globe. And I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a time in which everybody was trying to be a powerhouse riffer, runner, belter, singer. Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, even Ariana Grande has built her career off of being a riffer. But now music has become so boring and y'all are trying to whitewash the hell out of music and y'all are trying to make it seem like riffing is extra and that if you're a riffer, you're trying to show off. No, let's call it what it is. Y'all are trying to whitewash music. That's what y'all are trying to do. Riffing, running, having texture to your voice has always been the standard. And because Black people pioneered it, now y'all want to take it away?
So in exchange for tapping into the $1.7 trillion buying power of African Americans, you ask, what do African Americans want seriously? Nothing can be accomplished without no leverage. Okay, well let me explain something to you. We do have leverage, okay? According to these stats, okay, leverage exists because Africa, via the African Union or individual nations, increasingly needs access to capital, expertise, and global markets. In Black America, we hold all three. Why Black America has leverage? $1.7 trillion buying power. That's leverage. That's not just consumer cash. It's massive investment potential that rivals or exceeds the GDP of nearly every single African country. If even 5%, which is 85 billion, were pooled toward Africa-focused investments, it would eclipse most foreign direct investment flows to the continent from nations like the UK or France. Cultural capital. Okay, Black Americans are arguably the most globally influential Black cultural force, from music to media to fashion and tech innovation. This creates an unmatched platform to promote African tourism, launch Afrofusion brands or products, drive global attention toward African development. Diaspora identity. The African Union recognizes the diaspora as the sixth region, but it's mostly symbolic. Black Americans can insist that recognition becomes economic, not just emotional. This means citizenship or land rights, institutional partnerships, voting influence, and diaspora engagement plans. African governments want alternatives to global independence. Many African countries are increasingly wary of debt traps from Chinese loans, predatory aid structures from the West, unequal trade terms from Europe. Black America represents a culturally aligned, non-extractive alternative. Non-extractive. Especially if the relationship is structured as co-ownership, not charity. So what does this all mean? Yes, the leverage is that Africa needs Black American capital, which they've already stated. But more than that, they need diaspora trust, access to U.S. capital markets, culturally aligned partners with patience and purpose, and tech and innovation pipelines. Therefore, Black Americans must insist that if we're offering capital, culture, and innovation, in return, Africa should offer land, dual citizenship, and equity. If Black America is offering business expertise, then in return, Africa should offer diaspora investment protection laws. If Black America is offering tourism and diaspora marketing, then Africa in return should offer ownership in infrastructure and assets. Yes, Black Americans need to own. If they're getting political support and lobbying from Black America, then Africa in return should offer AU level diaspora voting rights. So yes, the leverage is real, and it ties into the fact that Black America offers something no one else can: capital with cultural connection. But leverage only works if it's recognized and it's used deliberately and not emotionally. And you just happen to be talking to someone who's not really emotional when it comes down to business. I can laugh and kiki all day, but soon as the business hit the table, baby, it's business. It's not personal. Therefore, Black America must organize the wealth that we have into institutions, funds, and demands. And we can't just be sending scattered dollars or visits. We will share. If we have to get our money tapped into, we will share in the ownership of Africa's rise. You're welcome. Now that's just me, okay? That's just me, okay? I don't work for anyone. I run my own stuff, okay? So that's just how I am, all right? So if you want something from me, and I'm considering myself Black America, then I need to get what the flip I want, or it's not a deal.
If you were in a Nike Tech in 2025, yeah!
We have mind control powers. We have mind control powers. We have them. We have mind control powers. Do you hear me? We have mind control powers. It's the only explanation. It's the only explanation. An article of clothing exists for multiple years. One of us puts it on and says we not wearing Nike Tech no more, and it's a movement. Asia been sipping matcha for thousands of years. Took us one day to turn it into a lifestyle. I know y'all seen that Bendy kid. Not the one who got multiple viral videos doing the dance to the point where he was able to do it in front of the whole entire school inside the gymnasium. The original kid who's not one of us and did it, and nobody liked that. We got mind control powers. That's it. We have mind control powers. If we do it, they will do it. If we do it, they will do it. If we do it, they will do it. Every single time. You remember that scene in Love Don't Cost a Thing when Nick Cannon was on the beach and they was hitting that dance to Pastor Cavassier? That's real life, but for us. In real life.
I think there's a secret society of people who control Black happiness. Yeah, I know the black people in here like, you mean the government, nigga? We know that already. No, for real, I think there's a secret society of people who control black happiness, man. I did the research. It starts in the 60s. 1967, a movie came out called In the Heat of the Night. You ever heard of it? Yeah, starring Sidney Poitier, powerful black actor. And in the movie, he's playing a detective, solving a case in the rural South. And towards the end of the movie, a white person slaps him in the face. And without hesitation, he slapped him right back. Now, this is a powerful scene in American cinema because it's one of the first times a black character shows strength towards a white character. And it blew up across the nation. Black people were walking outside of that theater with slap a cracker energy. It was I slap a cracker right now. That was 1967. 1968, MLK got assassinated. I think those two things are connected. It happens all throughout history, man. 1964, the Civil Rights Act gets passed. 1965, Malcolm X gets assassinated. 1995, O.J. Simpson gets let off. 1996, Tupac dies. 2008, Barack Obama gets elected. 2009, Michael Jackson dies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say, I'm glad Kamala lost. They were gonna take LeBron James. I said, slow down. My friend was like, you see we got a new president? I'm like, yeah, but we still got the same king, motherfucker. LeBron is safe.
Before I even start the real purpose of this video, please let us have a moment of silence for the incomparable Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was a staple in our homes. He grew up to be a wonderful adult, a wonderful human being. I would see him on interviews, his poetry, how he loved his family, how he spoke highly of his parents. It's a sad day, you know what I'm saying? That's Black American legacy. That's Black legacy. That's our culture. And I know they try to muddy it and bloody it, why, our culture, with the whole Bill Cosby situation. And if Bill Cosby is guilty, rightfully so, if he didn't have permission to do whatever it is that he did, rightfully so. However, why we do that and why we try to ban our own culture, Black Americans will ban our own culture, they still don't ban Harvey Weinstein movies, and they still have Trump as president, and he said grab him by the P-U-S-S-Y. So I mean, don't let them destroy legacy. And speaking of destroying legacy, let's talk about Essence and the Essence Festival. Boy, I tell you, the more things, come to light, and the more things, we see start getting revealed. This is the good side of social media because it allows you to see things that are usually behind the curtain, right behind the veil. And now we're seeing that, Essence ain't so black, right? And, here's the thing, and I'm not one of those people who try to divide, right? I know that the African diaspora, when we, transatlantic, all of that. I'm not here going to talk about the roots of slavery, how we came over here and all of that. You basically know. If you don't know, please go look up a book before they take the books away from the library or, whatever. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that all cultures should be celebrated. African culture, Chinese culture, shout out to everybody. And I know like a lot of Africans that come over here, I think Burna Boy has been guilty of it. Kai Cenat has been guilty of it. I forgot Cynthia, I forgot her last name. I think she has been guilty of it. I know there's just this BS about how Black Americans don't have any culture. You sure about that? Because we came over here and built culture out of nothing. We knew nothing. We didn't know our history, our ancestry, nothing. We were taught nothing, and we built everything. When you're wearing Timbs, when you're in New York City and you're wearing Timbs, that's part of a culture. Hip hop is our culture. What we eat, the fried chicken, macaroni, cheese, our food is our culture. That's all African American culture, believe it or not, right? So when you're coming over here and you're making money off of Black Americans, don't come over here with that we don't have any culture. Now I'm just being very minute in what I'm saying because we already know that we have the Nat Turners and the Malcolm X's and everybody else. So we already know that we have culture. We already know what the Tulsa and the Rosewoods and you know, Elaine's in the Seneca Village. We know we have culture. We know we invented, Black Americans now invented, you know, scat and, you know, country, all of that. We know we have culture. So I don't let other denominations and other ethnicities try to deprive Black Americans in culture. And this is when I have to separate us, because how dare you come over here, say that we don't have any culture, but you guys don't be on the set wearing dashikis. You guys don't wear African wardrobe. You guys dress like Black Americans. You guys dress in the style of Black Americans. You speak when you're not speaking in your African language, you're speaking in the slang of Black Americans, right? What you say, how you talk, the way you interact is Black American. So to try to diss our culture and act like we're nothing when we had to build from something, listen, Africa is a continent of Blacks, okay, or African of Africans. We're not. We're a small percentage in this land, and we was able to carve out our own. Listen to me, okay? We was able to create our own culture, like the Cosby Show, like these Black American staples, you know, in our family, whatever, you know, like Moesha. That's all culturalistic, right? What we do, how we celebrate, what we do at picnics, what we bring to picnics, how we celebrate at picnics. That's all Black American culture. You don't get to destroy that. In essence, it's Black American culture, right? Nobody says anything when you have a Chinese festival or you know, lantern festival. If you have a Japanese festival or African festival, Black Americans don't come over there and be like, oh my God, they need to have some Black American stuff over there. We go over there and we enjoy your culture. Do the damn same thing over here. Don't come over here trying to violate. Don't come over here like, oh my God, we need to Africa this up. Essence magazine and Essence itself, shout out to Susan Taylor, is not African. It is Black American, foundational Black, whatever you guys are calling yourself these days. It is not African. Don't African it up. Let Black Americans, let African Americans celebrate themselves how they want to celebrate themselves, just how we let Italians, Irish, Polish, and everybody else celebrate themselves. You don't go into an Irish pub and be like, oh God, I wish, you know, we had some Scottish stuff in here. No, because Scotland celebrates how Scotland celebrates, Ireland celebrates how Ireland celebrates, and we want to celebrate how we celebrate without having feel like we're going against Africa or we're not being African. Like I said, it's okay when Africans have their festivals and their whatever they do, right? Their moments, their concerts and everything, and we don't say anything. We don't say anything. And I don't want to be the person that has us pitted up against each other. But some of you Africans who come over here and who are entertainers, y'all do a lot. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot. Like Hassanet, like streaming, that's an African thing. You know, now I know it's a global thing or whatever, but you have a whole bunch of Africans on your stream? You have a whole bunch of Africans, or do you have a whole bunch of Black Americans that help you become popular, right? So now it makes sense with the Essence, who runs the Essence, runs Essence now, the CEO of Essence, and why Castanet did that, deplorable thing with the Target situation. Now it all makes sense. I'm seeing the connection. I don't want to get into the long big story of it because I don't want to make this a too long video, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Essence Festival, look up who sit on the board, look up the organizers. It ain't really, it ain't Black American. It ain't Black American, right? So I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe it's time to boycott Essence.
Don't ever confuse leading Blacks with Black leaders. Let me tell you why you don't do that. One of the reasons you don't confuse them, Black leaders are chosen by you. They're chosen by the people they're going to lead. They're chosen by us. But let me tell you about the leading Blacks. The leading Blacks are chosen by the media. Leading Blacks are chosen by ABC, all broadcasting Caucasians. Leading Blacks are also chosen by NBC, nothing broadcasting but Caucasians. And the rest are chosen by CBS, the Caucasian broadcasting system. And when you allow leaders to be chosen by the media that's owned by the corporations, when you get ready to change your lives, carefully watch and see what the leading Blacks are doing, because that's when the leading Blacks sneak into the door to the corporations And they will tell the corporations, oh, we know how to go and put them down. We know how to get you some real affirmative action Negroes to come in here and work. We know how to do that. But at the end of the day, the leading blacks lead the corporations, and the leading blacks have gotten paid while we have gotten played.
After watching the Beyonce concert and you like digest it, one of the things that made me like, I was tearing up. On the big screen, the announcer said,
I want to hear an American porn.
Like, I was tearing up. Cause I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born here. Watching that, like, black people really did the big one on this here America. Like, the biggest one. Like, y'all created something amazing down here. And I don't, you know, I'm not gonna get into, some people are ashamed of being black and black culture. They think black culture is one thing. But with these acts, you see that it's not true. But y'all did such, like, y'all really fucking survived this motherfucking place, man. Y'all survived this fucking place that tried to kill you so many times, so many different ways. Y'all fucking survived. Despite all of that, you created wonderful shit. Created art from your pain. Every single decade, you kept upping the ante with new genres, new dances, new shit to consume to like distract you from the crap that's going on. Y'all really fucking survived it. And your art proves it's a story of the struggles. It's a story of your survivals. You really fucking did it.
If you don't want white people using the word, then everybody should stop using the word.
Just for full context before I decimate this talking point, he's talking about white people that get doxxed as a result of saying the N-word, and he peddles this mindset that if we don't want white people saying it, that we shouldn't say it at all, and then follows that up with, we shouldn't be reclaiming a slur. So let's talk about it. In case you haven't noticed, you're white. You don't have a dog in this fight. So what you need to do is stay out of black people business. Because the reality is this, that mindset that you're peddling, oh, if you don't want white people saying it, nobody should say it. It's structured by nothing more than entitlement. Because you should not have an issue excluding a word from your day-to-day language that's not already in there. So when you decide to take to social media to make, record, and post said video, you are literally opening yourself to the consequences that come thereafter. So if you don't want the consequences, don't say it on social media. Period. We know most of y'all is saying it in the confines of your own home. Don't say it on social media. Goofy.
I think black Americans should start qualifying statements with what is our culture. People from all around the world don't classify what happens in America as American culture when they move here in a weird way. I just think that as black Americans specifically, we need to be like, in my culture, we do this. So I dealt with like 2 African dudes in different capacities. Just like cordial, and one was like a dating situation. And they both were, like, when I initially met them, they were like trying to come pick me up from my house to go to dinner or whatever. And I'm just like, nah. And I was nice about it. I ain't trying to like cuss nobody out or anything. But I'm just like, no, you're not coming to my house and I don't know you. And both of them, one is Nigerian, one is Kenyan, were like, well, in my culture, we do this, you know, trying to explain why they want to pick me up, which I fully understand. But by the time I met the Kenyan, he was the second dude that said that. I had to be like, in my culture, women don't have men pick them up from their house when they don't know them. I understand that when you're in a foreign country and you're trying to explain your actions, you're going to say in my culture, but we don't really say that in America because this is our country, so we don't really think to say in our culture. But when talking to other people who are not from here, I think we should start saying that more, because in my culture, we do this. Not that I don't care what you do, but your culture doesn't trump my culture just because you from another country. If I feel like my safety needs to be protected, then I'm going to do culturally what I understand. Even if I mention black American, culture could be whatever. It could be your individual cultures. It could be because I'm from Detroit. It could be because I live in a patriarchal society and thus am navigating as a black woman in this society. So whatever even individual culture you take on, in my culture, I do this. And just because you do something in your culture doesn't all of a sudden make me comfortable, because I still don't know you. My biggest aha moment in actually coming to this conclusion was I was in the comment section of an Angel Reese video, and there was like another Angel Reese hater commenter saying something about her being arrogant. And I made the realization that like Wahite supremacy and Wahite people have this obsession with like athletes being humble, particularly when they are black. And I realized, like, whether you go to the playground, whether you go to the gym, whether it's the AM1, Rucker Park, the NBA, black people are culturally going to be like boisterous, talk junk and all this stuff. And in our culture, that is normal. And there is still these like fail safes in our culture where there's a time and a place for everything. And so there's still mechanisms within our culture where you're not going to just do that at any time. But the most time you should be able to do that is when you on somebody's basketball court and you like doing well. It's a badge of honor to be able to talk junk. But sometimes whether you suck or whether you're playing well, like it's a badge of honor to talk junk. Because sometimes, if you ever been an athlete, I played 4 years varsity basketball, you're getting into somebody's head by what you say, because it's not only a physical game, it's a mental game, even though black athletes don't get credit for playing an intellectual game. It's similar to when people on social media, whether it's through video or through the comment section, people will try to correct someone speaking Ebonics online, and my retort is always, according to the grammar structure of the dialect of English that they're speaking, their grammar is correct, because Ebonics has a grammar structure. So you looking through the lens of Wahite supremacy or you looking through the lens of standard American English is incorrect in assessing this person's grammar. So in many ways, the way black Americans behave within our culture is totally fine, but when you put the lens of Wahite supremacy on it, like if you have a camera and you put that lens on it, then it's always going to be wrong. But you can't assess something according to what it is not trying to be.
Welcome back to the closing part of it, right? It's going to be powerful. You're going to have goosebumps. Now let's get into it. Black America, hear me. You're not powerless. You're not silent. You're not overlooked. You're not irrelevant. You control the cultural heartbeat of the most influential nation on earth. You decide what rises. You decide what fades. And the moment you fully understand that, America will change forever. Because you already hold the one thing nobody can take from you, the power to shape the culture of a nation. That is what you're holding. Do you know that? Do you realize that? That is what you're holding. I'm doing this video so that you keep reminding. I know a lot of you know these things, right? But when I do videos like this, it brings it back, it reignites it. It makes you know, okay, yeah, that's true. Probably you've forgotten some of these things. But when I do videos like this, it brings them back to your memory afresh. So, yeah, that is it. That is who you are. You're not just an ordinary person. You're not just a chosen person. You are everything and more. I'll stop here. Kindly subscribe, like, and share. The description of those videos below, right? And then drop your comments in the comment section. My name is BJ on Global Gist with BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.